G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Great League, so we're in Season 3, currently rank 6, and I'm running Galarian Stunfisk on the lead with Azumarill and Shiftry in the back. So the only one really of interest is Azumarill running Ice Beam and Play Rough. So that's the team, and I'll run through a quick set of 10 more battles and see how we go. So I really do like Shiftry in the back, very quick charge moves. However, you do need to be switching in very quickly if an Azumarill comes out, because you want to get it within the first 1 or 2 bubbles, and that sort of gives you a better matchup. Ideally, do it instant, and then you have a really good matchup. So let's see how we go in this first matchup. So instant swap into out of the Bastiodon, which makes sense. Really good matchup for me. In comes the Azumarill, and it's going to have to deal with all this body slam spam. I can't swap Shiftry in because of the fighting type fast move. It'll just absolutely wreck the Shiftry. So obviously want to so Vigoroth is pretty glassy, so throw those charge moves as quickly as you can, and I'm going to have to commit 2 shields here because I want to win this matchup. Unfortunately, they did switch there. Nice switch. It is the Shadow Victory Bell, so really not ideal for me, but because it is the Shadow, they're going to shield absolutely everything. In comes the Shiftry, able to charge up really quickly and throw when they have no shield. So in comes the Vigoroth body slam, obviously going to take me out there. So want to switch straight into the Stunfisk. I overfarmed a little too much there. Should have thrown before they got to another charge move, and then throw the Rock Slide. So obviously Rock Slide is going to be enough to KO here, and then out comes the Bastiodon, and able to throw the Earthquake pretty much straight away on that. So that's fairly straightforward. Be able to well, charge it down. However, they've thrown the Stone Edge. It's not very effective, and then able to fast move farm that down. So that's game 1. Pretty solid lead win, but a really good counter swap that puts me in a bit of an awkward position because I obviously don't have anything that sort of counters that incredibly well. So go in with the Azumarill. So next one. So this is a fairly neutral matchup. It's going to be running, so most Cresselias in the Great League are running Grass Knot. This one is no exception. Out comes Skarmory. So I think potentially it's a misplay. We'll have to see what they've got in the back. But Skarmory into Galarian Stunfisk is really bad. So obviously I'm not going to switch this out because I've got the Shiftry in the back that can handle the Cresselia really well. So absolutely no reason to get out of this matchup, so we will let that go and let it go from there. So it did throw the Brave Bird, which is a pretty good move, and then I farmed down. So let's see what comes back out. So they bring out their own Galarian Stunfisk, which is okay. I grab a shield there and charging, and just not able to get to the Earthquake. So that's really not ideal for me, and out comes the Azumarill. So obviously this would be much nicer if I had Hydro Pump, but I mean it is what it is, so fine with that. Out comes the Cresselia, so you will have to shield up Moonblast. Moonblast will one-shot Shiftry. Shiftry is super glassy. So in that situation I was hoping to get a shield, but now that I haven't got the shield, I will throw the double Leaf Blades, charge up a little bit to a second Leaf Blade before I throw my first, just because obviously I've count those charge moves. Out comes the Galarian Stunfisk here. It is a Rock Slide, so it's not going to KO. I will be able to throw the Ice Beam. So straight up throw the Ice Beam. And the reason I wanted to switch out is because it is going to have to throw energy to KO me here. So it will allow my Stunfisk, and I left with 1 HP on this Azumarill and able to throw the Ice Beam. I did have energy already charged on the Shiftry in the back to throw if that was taken out, or more so I thought when that was taken out. So keeping those matchups, and I do think that it was a mistake, so possibly they were trying to come in with the Galarian Stunfisk rather than come in with the Shiftry, so worked out really well for me there, so got pretty lucky with that swap. Jumping into the next one, so Stunfisk versus Stunfisk, so this is always a nightmare of a match. So it really depends on baiting, so in this instance I'm going to shield up. I always shield up. And then it's the Earthquake, so happy days for me. I then over farm quite a bit and throw my own Earthquake, hoping not to get a shield, so unfortunately got the shield there, so wasted that energy. They throw their Earthquake and then switch out, and so they've got, and then they get a few extra bubbles in. So I'm down a shield, they got an extra couple of bubbles in, and then out comes the Azumarill. So I was able to get one quick fast move in between my charge move and theirs, and then able to get to another Leaf Blade. So the Shiftry does survive one Ice Beam, and then gets taken out. So at that point I come in with my own Azumarill, and it looks like it is running Play Rough and not Play Rough, it's running Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. So really good call there to come in with the Azumarill rather than the Stunfisk. So I'm going to swap out my Stunfisk and throw the energy straight away to take it out, because obviously it's thrown its energy already on my before it left, and then out comes a Mawile, able to get to the Earthquake, and that's going to take that, Shadow Mawile, so super weak. They need to save a shield for that, and able to charge that down. So Mawile putting in some work there, so really good. We'll jump straight into the next one and let's see what we get on the lead. So lead situation, Stunfisk versus Stunfisk, not great. Sebastian on the lead, so really good for me. I'm expecting it to swap out, and it does. Again, a little bit slow on the switch there. You need to be switching instantly, basically, when you get an Azumarill switched in on you, and that way it sort of means that you can get to one extra charge move before they can, and maintain the shield advantage. Well, shield being equal. So in that instance, they always count your fast move. So it's 5 bubbles to a to an Ice Beam. So make sure you count those and throw before they get there. So out comes an Altaria, which is fine. They're not shielding this up. And they get to a charge move, which is fine. The Shiftry's done its job. It's taken out the Azumarill. So I actually come out with the Azumarill here, and that's good game. So obviously the Bastiodon in the front is better matched up with the Galarian Stunfisk, because I don't have Hydro Pump. If I had Hydro Pump on the Azumarill, then that matchup is fine as well, but because of that, I decided that in with the Azumarill to handle the Altaria, and the Stunfisk to handle the Bastiodon. So for this one, really bad for me. Toxicroak on the lead, switch in the Azumarill, which still isn't ideal, and then they switch in a Registeel. So this is really bad. So what I've got to do here is charge up to a Hydro Pump. So charge up until you get to that Hydro Pump and then throw. And I was lucky enough to bait out a shield. So not expecting to get a shield this time, so I'm going to throw. It does slightly more damage, and I get the second shield, so that's absolutely perfect for me. So now they know I'm running Ice Beam and Play Rough, but I'm in a position where I can successfully throw energy. So charged up just a bit over the over farm there on that. Out comes the Toxicroak. I've got shields, so be able to shield that up. Again, you want to throw straight away for the Toxicroak. It gets to its mud bombs really quickly, and its counter damage is absolutely immense. Out comes the next one, which is a Bastiodon, so absolutely perfect for me. So this Stunfisk is putting in some work, so those two shields that they threw really work. So I'm going to throw up a shield here. Really don't need to, but it was going to be the flamethrower and wanted to take out, and so absolutely swept with the Stunfisk there. So really good game. So able to go 5-0 in that set, as you saw, and then we'll jump straight into the next one. So this is a bit of an iffy one. Obviously, the Rock Slide's going to do a lot, so they switch into the Azumarill there, trying to catch the Rock Slide on the Azumarill. I was able to hold that off, and that's one of the big things you need to watch for, is don't try and avoid getting swapped into and dumping your energy unnecessarily. So they didn't shield that one up, so I'm going to throw the second one straight away to force either a shield or to feint, and to be honest, normally I get a shield, so I'll go into 2 shields here, and again count the fast moves because you might as well save up as much energy as possible. They're not going to shield this one. They should let it go down. Let's find out. And they did shield it, but I've got back-to-back saved, so it makes no difference. I'll throw the next one, take this out, and then we're in equal shields as well. So out comes an Altaria. And this is where Shiftry is really good. Its foul play still has some play against the flyers, whereas a Meganium just has nothing against flyers. So in this one, throw the Leaf Blade just because I'm not going to make it to the foul play, just to do a little bit of extra chip damage. So out comes the Galarian Stunfisk. And they've got a Dragon Pulse, so charge up to 2 Rock Slides. I'll throw the first one and then let's see what's in the back. So that's going to be able to come out. So obviously it's the Alolan Marowak. Throw the Rock Slides. You want to do as much damage as possible. So for this, I'm switching out, hoping to try and catch a Bone Club. I do manage to catch the Bone Club. It really is unnecessary, but just wanted to also show them that it was the Azumarill in the back. Saw that, and then they quit out. There's nothing they can do against that. So very good. Nice setup for me there. And then we'll jump into the next one. So Stunfisk into Skarmory, standard battle. You see it a lot, and they will switch straight out. This one, be ready, and they came in with the Azumarill. So unfortunately, again, I was a little bit slow on the switching. You really got to work on those switching. So I will charge up to 2 Leaf Blades just before they get to their next Ice Beam, and then that will let me throw them back to back without having to, and then they will have to shield that up or lose all that energy, which is fine as well. Obviously the Skarmory is going to come back out, but like I said, at least Shiftry has a little bit of play on the flyers, because it can do a nice chunk of neutral damage. So they over farmed just a little bit too long, and I was able to get to another charge move, so I had to shield that up, and that puts us in equal shield. So that's absolutely spectacular. So for this one, I want to catch a Mud Bomb, and I was able to do it. So that's really crucial in this one. We're equal shields, able to catch the Mud Bomb. And the reason I switched in is obviously I've got a pretty good matchup with the Galarian Stunfisk against the normal Stunfisk, but it gets to Mud Bombs quicker than I will get to Earthquakes, and I've got an absolutely outstanding match with the Skarmory versus the Stunfisk. So you want to hold that match, even though this is a little worse. So I had to tank one of those discharges, able to do it, and then throw the Ice Beam to take that out, switch into the Skarmory. They obviously bring in the Skarmory, I switch into my Galarian Stunfisk, and we'll be able to throw the Rock Slides to get this win. So I need to throw back to back and had them stored. A big thing to do is save that energy. So they actually quit out before I could throw that second one, and that's good game right there. So really good game, and want to hold and maintain those switches. And just because you have the advantage on something doesn't mean, if they've locked out, so if they've locked their switch clock, you want to make sure that you're running against their whole team. When you know what is in the back, you can definitely make those plays. So this one's a bit of an interesting one. So Umbreon is an absolute tank. I don't want to switch out because I'll lose switch advantage. So the first one, I throw an Earthquake just to do a little bit of extra damage and put the pressure on for future shields. they come to their foul play so quickly, and it is doing a lot of neutral damage. So for this one, throw in the Rock Slide, hoping to grab a shield. Wasn't able to grab a shield, which is unfortunate. And then they continue to foul play and try and fast move farm me down. So I do commit a shield there. Throw another Rock Slide, hoping to get a shield. Didn't get a shield, but I do win the matchup. So out comes they're not so favourable for me, Whiscash. So expecting this to throw its energy pretty quickly. Over farmed too much there. Should have thrown another Rock Slide, but to be honest, I knew I had Shiftry in the back, and Shiftry, whether it does damage or not, is going to one-shot the... So with the Leaf Blade, it's going to one-shot. So swap into the Shiftry, they shielded that up, and then swap into the Skarmory, and then obviously this is a match for Ice Beam Azumarill, so it's got a better match against this. You cannot have a Skarmory up against this, especially when they've got the shield advantage. So they're throwing their shields here, able to get to another Ice Beam here, which works out really nicely for me. And then I do get the second shield, which works absolutely perfectly. I will need to shield this up. It will one-shot me. And then they make an absolutely amazing switch into the Whiscash, throws the Blizzard and wins the game. So got to be careful of that. Absolutely perfect play on their part, and just not what I was thinking about at all. So brilliant play on their part to force that move, because I had the energy. Had I thrown my charge moves, would have won that game, but absolutely perfect play on their part to be able to do it. So next match into Stunfisk versus Abomasnow. They made an absolutely amazing dirty swap there, which is, well, as you probably gather from the name, a dirty swap. But, I mean, it is part of it, and it is what it is. What are you going to do? So I then switch into my Shiftry, and again, you want to get that energy up, count those charge moves, and only throw your energy just before they're going to throw their own charge move, because that way you've got an advantage there. So unfortunately I over farm here, and they make another amazing swap into the Abomasnow, which is going to resist that damage. So yeah, absolutely outstanding on their part. Swap that out, and should have thrown... Yeah, just absolutely outstanding. Want to farm up a little bit of extra energy on this, but do not want to be taken out. So Rock Slide is going to be super effective. So able to throw the Rock Slide and then fast move farm it down. Out comes the Azumarill. Want to do a little bit more chip damage, because when the to make sure it's within range of the for when I farm it down here. So I bring in the Azumarill because I know it is close to energy. Out comes a Cresselia. So throw the dark energy on that, expecting it to have Moonblast here, and that will KO. However, it is a Grass Knot, which doesn't quite get the job done. Able to throw my next foul play, which is able to take it out. Out comes the Azumarill. I have energy, so I'm able to throw my play rough and take out the Azumarill. Really comfy game there in the end. So they had some amazing sack swaps there, and just be aware of it. And watch that count clock, because on the Shiftry versus Azumarill, they definitely watched that and played that to perfection. So another lead into Toxicroak, which is really not good. This time they don't have a brilliant counter for it. So out comes Hypno, which is not too bad. So Hypno will have Thunder Punch, and it only takes 3 to get to it. So 3 of their fast moves to get to it. So I'm expecting pretty quick Thunder Punches here, and then I over farm just too much. And they come to another Thunder Punch, and don't actually take me out. So I'm able to throw my Ice Beam and grab a shield on the way out. So now I've got a shield advantage. In comes the Shiftry, which is really good for me. They usually run Fire Punch or Ice Punch, but it is Shadow Ball. So out comes the Shadow Ball. So this is not a good time for me because these are going to be resisted, but that does get the shield. So I'm going to throw back to back here and try and take this out. So swapping out into the Galarian Stunfisk, thought I might be able to catch a poison move there, but wasn't able to do so. So throw that straight away. Out comes the Azumarill, so not ideal for me. Have the shield advantage, but I don't have the Pokemon. So wanting them to throw their energy, they're not doing it. So out comes the Shiftry, able to shield up the Ice Beam. They switch into the Hypno to try and sack swap it. Able to hold off on that sack swap and then throw the Leaf Blade as soon as the Azumarill comes back out and take that win. So like I said, watch those sack swaps because people will be doing it, especially when you start to get a little bit higher up. Only in rank 7 at the moment here, but watch those sack swaps. Let's see what our reward is, and it's a Galarian Farfetch, so really happy with that. I do have a video that's helping improve excellent throws, so I'll link that now, so check it out if you want to try and help improve excellent throws. So managed to get an excellent throw there, which is always nice, and catch that. So that's my set leading Stunfisk with Azumarill and the Shiftry in the back. So one of the big pieces of advice I would give is 100% get those switches in, because if you're leading Stunfisk, people will be, and that gets me to rank 8, 21-32 as I approach in from rank 7, and it will then, as soon as I do one more set, get me up into rank 8. So that got my rating there. So really happy with that, and yeah, so like I said, big thing to remember, get those switches. So Galarian Stunfisk, people switch in Azumarill, so be prepared with your switch into Shiftry. You don't want it getting energy before you. So that's it for me for now. Hopefully that was useful. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.